Imagine North Carolina's US 74 becoming an interstate, opening up new prospects, economic growth, and better connections. This is a plan that could shape the state's transportation infrastructure. We'll explore a bill to make North Carolina's US 74 an interstate and its potential for the region. A fact-filled discussion of benefits, economic impact, community viewpoints, and future steps awaits. Buckle up for an enlightening ride to North Carolina's next major project. US 74, also known as Independence Boulevard, has a long history and serves as an important east-west corridor in North Carolina. This important highway runs roughly 160 miles from the western part of the state near Chattanooga, Tennessee, to the seaside town of Wilmington. US 74 construction began in the early 1950s and was finished in sections over several years. It was originally intended to boost regional transportation by connecting numerous cities and regions around North Carolina. The road has been a lifeline for both inhabitants and businesses over time, promoting economic growth and connecting different regions of the state. US 74 is a vital transportation artery that connects various cities and communities along its path. It runs through large cities including Asheville, Charlotte, and Wilmington, as well as smaller towns in between. The route connects to vital destinations such as educational institutions, healthcare facilities, manufacturing hubs, tourism sites, and recreational regions. US 74 is a lifeline for commuters, small businesses, and industries, allowing products and people to flow across the state. It's played an important role in promoting tourism by offering access to major places such as the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, the Blue Ridgeway Park, and Wilmington's seaside attractions. The road is also an important mode of transit for industries such as manufacturing, agriculture, and logistics. North Carolina's growing population and economic growth have resulted in increased traffic volumes on US Highway 74 throughout the years. As a result, there have been congestion, delays, and safety concerns. Currently, US Route 74 is made up of a variety of road segments, including two-lane stretches, urban arterials, and limited access parts. The planned interstate designation would standardize and integrate the roadway, increasing capacity, efficiency, and safety. US 74 has become an important part of North Carolina's transportation network due to its large length across the state. The proposed measure to designate it as a future interstate underscores the corridor's importance and the state's commitment to improving its infrastructure for the benefit of people, businesses, and visitors. The proposed law, which is now being debated in the North Carolina State Legislature, proposes to raise US 74 to interstate highway classification. This game-changing program attempts to improve the road infrastructure, safety features, and funding opportunities. The bill's supporters say that designating US 74 as an interstate highway will provide several benefits to North Carolina's transportation infrastructure. By increasing the road's classification, greater federal financing would be made available, paving the path for significant renovations and additions. One of the key advantages of interstate designation is the possibility of increased revenue. US 74 now relies on a combination of state and federal funding sources to address maintenance and smaller-scale upgrades. However, because it's an interstate highway, US 74 is eligible for more federal financing, which could considerably increase the resources available for necessary maintenance and expansion. Furthermore, the proposed bill emphasizes the significance of standardizing US Route 74 to achieve interstate highway standards. Wider lanes, updated interchanges, and modern signage systems would be implemented, putting the road's infrastructure in line with established interstate standards. These improvements would help to improve traffic flow, alleviate congestion, and increase motorist safety. Congestion is becoming an increasing issue along certain parts of US Route 74, particularly in densely populated regions. The proposed bill addresses this issue by including capacity augmentation measures, such as more lanes and upgraded interchanges. These improvements would benefit both commuters and businesses that rely on efficient transportation networks by reducing congestion and improving travel times. Another important component of the proposed bill is its safety. With the interstate status, US 74 would be subjected to extensive safety assessments and targeted improvements. The proposed bill, like any major infrastructure project, welcomes public participation and input to gather comments, resolve concerns, and ensure that the interests of local communities and stakeholders are taken into account during the planning and implementation stages. Public hearings and community meetings are being held. The North Carolina State Legislature will finally decide whether to designate US 74 as a future interstate. Their discussions and decisions will shape the future of this vital transportation corridor and decide the potential benefits to the state. Benefits of interstate designation. To begin with, the interstate classification would increase government financing for US Route 74. As an interstate highway, the road would be eligible for increased federal financial support. Another critical advantage is improved infrastructure. Upgrading US 74 to interstate status would necessitate a thorough refurbishment of its physical components. This could involve extending the lanes to accommodate increasing traffic volumes, building new interchanges to promote smoother transitions between roads, and introducing advanced signage systems for improved navigation. These infrastructural improvements would enhance traffic flow, reduce congestion, and boost safety for all road users. Smoother traffic flow will not only save time, but also cut fuel consumption and vehicle emissions, contributing to a more sustainable and environmentally friendly transportation system. With improved infrastructure, US 74 would be more appealing to industries wishing to establish or expand their operations. The greater connectivity and accessibility given by the interstate designation would facilitate the transportation of products and services, assisting logistics and supply chain activities. This in turn might provide new job opportunities, promote local economies, and boost the overall economic competitiveness of the communities along the corridor. One of the key economic benefits of interstate status is the opportunity to attract new businesses and sectors to the region. US 74 would become more appealing as a place for firms wishing to establish or expand their operations. With increased infrastructure and connectivity, the improved road would enable easy access to numerous markets, supporting economic growth and job creation along the corridor. The demand for a trained workforce in sectors such as transportation, logistics, hospitality, and construction would most likely expand, offering job opportunities and potentially improving income levels for individuals and families in the region. Future steps. The planned interstate designation of US 74 is difficult and needs extensive planning, coordination, and collaboration among stakeholders. Let's examine the innovative project's future steps and timing. Environmental and feasibility studies begin the process. These studies will evaluate the technical and environmental impacts of upgrading US 74 to interstate standards. Traffic, engineering, environmental, and community factors will be considered. These studies will inform decision-making. The decision will follow feasibility studies. Transportation officials, engineers, and planners will collaborate on interstate system-compliant designs. This phase determines upgrades including enlarging lanes, building interchanges, and adding safety features. Construction begins after design. Roadways, interchanges, signs, and other infrastructure will be improved during construction. This phase needs careful project management, safety measures, and contractor collaboration to minimize neighborhood disruption and expedite construction. Finally, the proposed interstate designation of US 74 will involve feasibility studies, design, construction, and community engagement. Transparency, collaboration, and careful planning will ensure a successful change that improves North Carolina's transportation system. US 74's projected interstate designation is promising for North Carolina's transportation infrastructure. The transition might boost connectivity, safety, and economic growth. To guarantee a well-rounded, beneficial approach, community and stakeholder voices must be considered during the legislative process.